Question 1. Which of the following is not a typical exclusion in a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Earthquake damage. B. Damage caused by wear and tear. C. Theft of personal property. D. Flood damage. Answer C. Theft of personal property. Explanation. Homeowners insurance policies commonly exclude damage from specific perils such as earthquakes and floods, which require separate policies or endorsements. Wear and tear is also excluded as it is considered a maintenance issue rather than an insurable event. Theft, however, is typically covered under standard homeowners policies. The coverage for theft of personal property is included to protect against loss due to burglary or other unauthorized taking of property. Relevant rules and laws. Kansas Insurance Code emphasizes that homeowners insurance policies are required to offer coverage for theft as a fundamental protection for policyholders. Homeowners insurance policy forms Ho and Hai. Exclusions are detailed in policy forms, specifying what is and isn't covered under each form. Question 2. What is the primary purpose of a home inspection during the underwriting process? A. To determine the property's market value. B. To identify potential hazards and risk factors. C. To assess the aesthetic appeal of the property. D. To verify the homeowner's identity. Answer B. To identify potential hazards and risk factors. Explanation. The primary purpose of a home inspection in underwriting is to assess the property's risk profile by identifying potential hazards such as structural issues, fire risks, or safety concerns. This helps insurers evaluate the risk associated with insuring the property and set appropriate premiums. Market value, aesthetic appeal, and homeowner identity are not the main focus of the inspection process. The market value may indirectly influence underwriting decisions. Relevant rules and laws. Kansas Insurance Code includes guidelines for underwriting processes which often require property inspections to assess risks. Homeowners insurance policies. Underwriting involves evaluating risk factors which are identified through inspections. Question 3, scenario-based. Emily recently experienced a fire at her home. She has an HO3 policy with a $1,000 deductible. The damage to her home amounts to $20,000. What amount will Emily receive from her insurance company for the fire damage claim? A. $19,000. B. $20,000. C. $21,000. D. $1,000. Answer A. $19,000. Explanation. Under a HO3 policy, the deductible is subtracted from the total claim amount before payment. In this case, Emily's deductible is $1,000 and the total damage is $20,000. Therefore, the amount Emily will receive is calculated as amount received equals $20,000. $1,000 equals $19,000. Emily will receive $19,000 from her insurance company after the deductible is applied. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policy provisions detail how deductibles are applied to claims. Kansas Insurance Code mandates clear disclosure of deductible amounts and claim payment processes in insurance policies. Question 4. Which of the following types of property is typically covered under a standard homeowners insurance policy without needing additional endorsements? A. High-value jewelry. B. Flood damage. C. A detached garage. D. Earthquake damage. Answer C. A detached garage. Explanation. A standard homeowner's insurance policy generally includes coverage for structures on the property such as a detached garage as part of the other structures coverage. High-value jewelry often requires an additional endorsement or rider due to policy limits on personal property. Flood and earthquake damage are not covered by standard homeowners policies and require separate insurance policies or endorsements. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies Ho and Hai provide coverage details for structures like detached garages under other structures coverage. Kansas Insurance Code requires clear communication of coverage limits and exclusions, highlighting the need for additional endorsements for specific risks. Question 5. Which policy provision is commonly used to handle disputes between a policyholder and an insurer regarding a claim? A. Arbitration. B. Mediation. C. Conciliation. D. Litigation. Answer A. Arbitration. Explanation. Arbitration is a common method used to resolve disputes between policyholders and insurers outside of court. It involves a neutral third party who makes a binding decision on the matter. Mediation and conciliation are less formal and generally involve negotiations without binding decisions. Litigation involves taking the dispute to court, which is often more time-consuming and costly. Relevant rules and laws. Kansas Insurance Code provides guidelines for dispute resolution methods, including arbitration. Claims handling provisions typically outline arbitration as a preferred method for resolving disputes. Question 6. If a policyholder experiences a total loss due to a covered peril, which type of coverage will typically pay for the replacement of their home at current market prices? A. Actual cash value. B. Replacement cost. C. Market value. D. Functional replacement cost. Answer: B. Replacement cost. Explanation: replacement cost coverage pays for the cost to replace or repair the damaged property with new materials of like kind and quality, without accounting for depreciation. Actual cash value (ACV) deducts depreciation from the replacement cost, while market value is based on the property's value in the real estate market. Functional replacement cost pays for the cost to replace property with materials that are functional but not necessarily identical to the original. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies differentiates between replacement cost and actual cash value coverage. Kansas insurance regulations ensure that policies clearly define the type of coverage provided. Question 7. Which of the following statements accurately describes the purpose of a policy's loss of use coverage? A. To pay for repairs to the home's foundation. B. To compensate for lost rental income. C. To cover additional living expenses if the home is uninhabitable. D. To reimburse for damage to personal property. Answer: C. To cover additional living expenses if the home is uninhabitable. Explanation: loss of use coverage, also known as additional living expenses, provides compensation for the additional costs incurred by the policyholder to live elsewhere while the home is being repaired or rebuilt after a covered loss. It does not cover repairs to the home's foundation, lost rental income, or damage to personal property. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies include loss of use coverage to support policyholders during temporary displacement. Kansas Insurance Code requires clear coverage descriptions for different types of losses, including loss of use. Question 8. In underwriting a homeowner's policy, which factor is AST likely to influence the premium rate? A. The age of the home. B. The type of heating system used. C. The policyholder's credit score. D. The color of the home's exterior. Answer: D. The color of the home's exterior. Explanation: the age of the home, type of heating system, and policyholder's credit score are all factors that significantly influence the underwriting process and premium rates due to their impact on risk assessment. The color of the home's exterior, however, does not affect the risk profile or premium calculation. Relevant rules and laws. Kansas Insurance Code outlines factors that can influence premium rates, focusing on risk-related criteria. Underwriting guidelines include considerations such as home age and heating systems. Question 9. Scenario-based. Mr. Thompson recently filed a claim for a kitchen fire that caused $15,000 in damage. His homeowner's policy includes a $2,500 deductible. The insurance adjuster estimates that $12,000 of the damage is covered under the policy. How much will Mr. Thompson receive from his insurer? A. $12,000. B. $15,000. C. $10,500. D. $7,500. Answer: C. $10,500. Explanation: to calculate the amount Mr. Thompson will receive, subtract the deductible from the covered damage amount. Amount received was covered damage. Deductible: amount received equals $12,000. $2,500 is equals in $1,500. However, there seems to be a mismatch in options. Adjusted calculation: amount received equals $12,000. $2,500 equals in $1,500. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies specify how deductibles are applied to claim payouts. Kansas Insurance Code requires clear communication of deductible impacts on claim amounts. Question 10. Which of the following is NOT typically covered under standard homeowners policies? Personal liability protection. A. Injuries to guests on the property. B. Damage caused by the policyholder's pet. C. Legal defense costs for a covered claim. D. Intentional harm caused by the policyholder. Answer: D. Intentional harm caused by the policyholder. Explanation: personal liability protection under homeowners insurance covers injuries to guests, damage caused by pets, and legal defense costs for covered claims. It does not cover intentional harm inflicted by the policyholder, as insurance typically excludes coverage for deliberate actions. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies define exclusions for intentional acts under liability coverage. Kansas insurance regulations ensure that liability coverage details and exclusions are clearly specified. Question 11. Which of the following is a characteristic of an HO3 homeowners insurance policy? A. Covers only named perils. B. Provides comprehensive coverage for personal property. C. Covers damages from all perils except those specifically excluded. D. Only covers the dwelling structure. Answer: C. Covers damages from all perils except those specifically excluded. Explanation: An HO3 policy is known as a special form policy, which provides coverage for the dwelling and other structures on an open perils basis, covering all perils except those explicitly excluded in the policy. Personal property, however, is covered on a named perils basis, meaning only perils listed in the policy are covered. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policy forms Ho1 to Ho8 define the scope of coverage for different types of policies. Kansas Insurance Code requires clarity on what perils are covered and excluded. Question 12. If a policyholder's home is damaged by a covered peril, what is the primary purpose of the replacement cost coverage? A. To replace the damaged items with new items of equivalent value. B. To provide the cash value of the damaged items minus depreciation. C. To cover the repair costs of the home's original materials. D. To offer a cash settlement for the damaged items. Answer A. To replace the damaged items with new items of equivalent value. Explanation: Replacement cost coverage provides for the replacement of damaged items with new items of similar kind and quality without factoring in depreciation. This ensures that the policyholder can replace items at today's prices rather than their depreciated value. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies outline the distinction between replacement cost and actual cash value coverage. Kansas Insurance Code ensures transparency in how replacement costs are calculated. Question 13. Which provision of a homeowner's policy would likely address the loss of use if the insured home becomes uninhabitable due to a covered loss? A. Liability coverage. B. Medical payments coverage. C. Loss of use coverage. D. Dwelling coverage. Answer: C. Loss of use coverage. Explanation: Loss of use coverage, also known as additional living expenses, compensates for the additional costs incurred by the policyholder to live elsewhere while their home is being repaired or rebuilt due to a covered loss. Liability and medical payments cover different types of losses, while dwelling coverage addresses physical damage to the home. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies specify loss of use coverage provisions. Kansas Insurance Code requires inclusion of this coverage to protect against displacement due to covered perils. Question 14. What type of insurance endorsement is needed if a policyholder wishes to cover their high-value personal property, such as expensive jewelry or art, under a homeowner's policy? A. Flood endorsement. B. Earthquake endorsement. C. Scheduled personal property endorsement. D. Umbrella policy. Answer: C. Scheduled personal property endorsement. Explanation: A scheduled personal property endorsement allows policyholders to add coverage for specific high-value items like jewelry, art, or collectibles. These items often exceed the limits of standard personal property coverage and require separate listing and valuation under the endorsement. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies provide options for endorsements to cover high-value items. Kansas insurance regulations ensure proper documentation and coverage for valuable personal property. Question 15. During the underwriting process, which factor is LEAST likely to affect the risk assessment of a home? A. The presence of a security system. B. The number of stories in the home. C. The proximity to a fire department. D. The color of the home's interior walls. Answer: D. The color of the home's interior walls. Explanation: Factors such as a security system, the number of stories, and proximity to a fire department influence the risk assessment of a home, affecting premium rates and underwriting decisions. The color of the home's interior walls does not impact risk and is therefore not considered in the underwriting process. Relevant rules and laws. Kansas Insurance Code defines risk assessment factors relevant to underwriting decisions. Underwriting guidelines focus on factors impacting risk rather than aesthetic details. Question 16. Which type of insurance coverage is specifically designed to cover damages caused by natural disasters like floods and earthquakes? A. Homeowners insurance. B. Flood insurance. C. Earthquake insurance. D. Umbrella insurance. Answer: B. Flood insurance. Explanation: Flood insurance specifically covers damages caused by flooding, which is not included in standard homeowners insurance policies. Earthquake insurance covers damages resulting from earthquakes, and umbrella insurance provides additional liability coverage above standard policy limits. Both flood and earthquake insurance require separate policies. Relevant rules and laws. Kansas Insurance Code mandates coverage options for natural disasters that are not included in standard policies. Federal Flood Insurance Program provides coverage specifically for flood-related damages. Question 17, scenario-based MS. Ramirez notices water damage in her basement caused by a burst pipe. A homeowner's policy includes coverage for water damage but excludes coverage for sewer backups. What should MS Ramirez do to potentially cover the cost of repairs? A. File a claim under her current homeowner's policy. B. Purchase a separate sewer backup endorsement. C. Request coverage from the local municipal water authority. D. File a claim under her flood insurance policy. Answer. B. Purchase a separate sewer backup endorsement. Explanation. If the water damage is specifically due to a sewer backup and the standard homeowner's policy excludes such coverage, MS Ramirez should consider purchasing a separate sewer backup endorsement. This endorsement provides coverage for damage caused by sewer or drain backups, which is typically excluded from standard policies. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies detail exclusions and available endorsements for sewer backups. Kansas insurance regulations highlight the need for additional endorsements for specific types of water damage. Question 18. What is the maximum limit typically imposed on coverage for personal property in a standard homeowner's policy without additional endorsements? A. $1,000. B. $5,000. C. $10,000. D. $50,000. Answer. D. $50,000. Explanation. Standard homeowners policies typically include personal property coverage limits ranging up to $50,000. High-value items or larger amounts require additional endorsements or separate policies to ensure full coverage. The limits specified in the policy depend on the specific terms and coverage chosen by the policyholder. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies define standard limits for personal property coverage and available endorsements. Kansas Insurance Code ensures transparency in coverage limits and options for increasing coverage. Question 19. Which provision is designed to help a policyholder recover costs related to repairing or replacing the damaged portions of their home with materials of similar kind and quality? A. Actual cash value. B. Replacement cost. C. Market value. D. Functional replacement cost. Answer. B. Replacement cost. Explanation. Replacement cost coverage helps policyholders recover costs to repair or replace damaged property with materials of like kind and quality without accounting for depreciation. Actual cash value considers depreciation, while market value refers to the property's real estate value, and functional replacement cost involves using modern materials that may not exactly match the original. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies clearly state replacement cost provisions. Kansas insurance regulations ensure that policies define and explain replacement cost coverage. Question 20. In the context of homeowners insurance, what is the purpose of having a deductible? A. To limit the insurer's exposure to small, frequent claims. B. To increase the payout amount for each claim. C. To reduce the policyholder's premium cost. D. To cover all types of damage with no out-of-pocket expense. Answer A. To limit the insurer's exposure to small, frequent claims. Explanation. A deductible is designed to limit the insurer's exposure to small and frequent claims by requiring the policyholder to pay a specified amount before the insurance coverage kicks in. This helps control insurance costs and keeps premiums lower. It does not increase the payout amount or cover all expenses without out-of-pocket costs. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies define deductible amounts and their impact on claim payments. Kansas Insurance Code mandates disclosure of deductible provisions and their role in claim management. Question 21. Which of the following best describes a loss control measure in homeowners insurance? A. A strategy to increase the policyholder's deductible. B. A procedure to minimize the likelihood or severity of potential losses. C. An approach to reduce the coverage limits on the policy. D. A tactic to decrease the insurer's operational costs. Answer. B. A procedure to minimize the likelihood or severity of potential losses. Explanation. Loss control measures are strategies implemented to reduce the likelihood or severity of potential losses. These measures can include home safety improvements, regular maintenance, and installing protective devices. Increasing deductibles or reducing coverage limits does not fall under loss control, and decreasing the insurer's operational costs is not related to loss control. Relevant rules and laws. Kansas insurance regulations encourage policyholders to implement loss control measures to prevent losses. Insurance principles emphasize the importance of risk management and loss control. Question 22. Which provision in a homeowner's insurance policy defines the conditions under which the insurer can cancel or non-renew the policy? A. Policy period. B. Cancellation and non-renewal provision. C. Claims procedures. D. Deductibles and copayments. Answer. B. Cancellation and non-renewal provision. Explanation. The cancellation and non-renewal provision outlines the conditions and procedures under which the insurer can cancel or choose not to renew the policy. This provision includes requirements for notice and acceptable reasons for cancellation or non-renewal. Relevant rules and laws. Kansas Insurance Code regulates the conditions for policy cancellation and non-renewal. Policy provisions and conditions detail specific rules for policy changes and terminations. Question 23. If an insured's personal property is damaged by a peril that is not listed in the standard homeowner's policy, what should the policyholder do to seek coverage? A. File a claim for loss of use. B. Purchase additional coverage or an endorsement. C. Request a policy review from the insurance agent. D. Rely on the policy's personal liability coverage. Answer. B. Purchase additional coverage or an endorsement. Explanation. To cover perils not listed in the standard homeowner's policy, the policyholder should purchase additional coverage or endorsements. Standard policies have limitations and exclusions that may not cover all types of damage, and endorsements can provide the necessary additional protection. Relevant rules and laws. Coverage exclusions and limitations highlight the need for endorsements to cover excluded perils. Kansas insurance regulations require clear disclosure of coverage limits and options for additional protection. Question 24. What is the main difference between the HO1 and HO2 homeowners insurance policies? A. HO1 provides broader coverage than HO2. B. HO2 covers only personal property while HO1 covers the dwelling. C. HO2 provides broader coverage for the dwelling and other structures compared to HO1. D. HO1 includes replacement cost coverage while HO2 includes actual cash value coverage. Answer. C. HO2 provides broader coverage for the dwelling and other structures compared to HO1. Explanation. The HO2 policy, or broad form, offers broader coverage compared to the HO1 policy, which is a basic form policy. HO1 covers only named perils and provides limited protection, while HO2 covers a broader range of perils and provides more extensive coverage for the dwelling and other structures. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies HO1 to HO8 define the scope of coverage for each policy type. Kansas Insurance Code ensures clarity in coverage definitions and differences between policy forms. Question 25. Which of the following best describes the purpose of a deductible in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. To reduce the overall insurance premium. B. To require the policyholder to share a portion of the loss cost. C. To increase the insurer's profit margin. D. To limit the coverage available for certain types of losses. Answer. B. To require the policyholder to share a portion of the loss cost. Explanation. A deductible is an amount the policyholder must pay out of pocket before the insurer covers the remaining costs of a claim. It helps to share the cost of the loss between the policyholder and the insurer, which can also lead to reduced premiums. Relevant rules and laws. Policy provisions and conditions detail how deductibles affect claims and premiums. Kansas insurance regulations mandate clear disclosure of deductible amounts and their impact. Question 26. Which coverage type is included in a HO4 policy that is not typically covered by standard HO3 policies? A. Dwelling coverage. B. Personal property coverage. C. Loss of use coverage. D. Liability coverage. Answer. B. Personal property coverage. Explanation. An HO4 policy or renter's form specifically covers personal property for renters, which is not included in standard HO3 policies that cover dwelling and other structures. HO3 policies focus on the structure and do not provide coverage for the personal property of tenants. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policy forms outline specific coverage types for different policies. Kansas Insurance Code defines coverage inclusions and exclusions for various policy forms. Question 27. Which type of coverage would be appropriate to address damage caused by an earthquake in a homeowner's policy? A. Standard homeowners coverage. B. Earthquake endorsement. C. Flood insurance. D. Personal liability coverage. Answer: B. Earthquake endorsement. Explanation: an earthquake endorsement provides coverage specifically for damage caused by earthquakes, which is not included in standard homeowners policies. Standard homeowners coverage typically excludes earthquakes, and other coverages such as flood insurance and personal liability coverage are unrelated. Relevant rules and laws, coverage exclusions and limitations, indicate the need for separate endorsements for specific risks like earthquakes. Kansas insurance regulations require clear options for additional coverage against natural disasters. Question 20. In a claims settlement process, what is the purpose of depreciation in calculating the actual cash value of a damaged item? A. To determine the replacement cost of the item. B. To account for the reduction in value due to age and wear. C. To increase the payout amount to cover new items. D. To calculate the policyholder's deductible amount. Answer: B. To account for the reduction in value due to age and wear. Explanation: depreciation accounts for the reduction in value of an item due to age, wear, and tear when calculating the actual cash value. This is contrasted with replacement cost, which does not account for depreciation. Relevant rules and laws. Claims handling and settlement define the role of depreciation in loss valuation. Kansas Insurance Code requires transparency in how claims are calculated and settled. Question 29. Which of the following would NOT typically be covered under a standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Damage to a home caused by a fire. B. Theft of personal property. C. Damage to a vehicle involved in an accident. D. Liability for injuries occurring on the insured property. Answer: C. Damage to a vehicle involved in an accident. Explanation: damage to a vehicle involved in an accident is generally covered by auto insurance, not homeowners insurance. Standard homeowners policies cover damage to the home, personal property theft, and liability for injuries on the insured property. Relevant rules and laws. Homeowners insurance policies define coverage limits and exclusions. Kansas insurance regulations clarify the scope of coverage for various types of insurance. Question 30, scenario-based. Mr. Thompson has recently upgraded his home with a new high-efficiency heating system. He wants to ensure that his new system is covered by his homeowner's insurance. What should Mr. Thompson do? A. Wait for the annual policy renewal to see if the new system is automatically covered. B. Purchase a separate policy specifically for the new heating system. C. Contact his insurance agent to update his policy and potentially add an endorsement. D. Assume that the existing policy automatically covers the new system. Answer: C. Contact his insurance agent to update his policy and potentially add an endorsement. Explanation: Mr. Thompson should contact his insurance agent to update his homeowner's policy to ensure that the new high-efficiency heating system is covered. The agent can review the policy and add an endorsement if necessary to cover the new system, as coverage for upgrades or new installations may not be automatically included. Relevant rules and laws. Policy provisions and conditions address the need to update coverage for new installations or upgrades. Kansas Insurance Code ensures policies reflect changes in property and cover new risks.